All right, so let's talk about the lead flow process and how that's going to further your relationship development with every move you make. You can look at this chart that I've created, this diagram that shows the flow. And we're going to take that from content to comment to connection, chat, and then conversion. So we're trying to drive this relationship development to a point of decision. And if they make a decision to do business with you, great. If they don't make a decision to do business with you, that's great too, because we have deepened this relationship now to a place of referral generation just by following this process. So let's talk about what we can do from a content standpoint as to how to get that ball rolling. So we want to create posts that create conversations around your target market, around your niche or niche, as some may say. So if you're in architecture and engineering, you want to basically post content or engage with content that revolves around architecture and engineering, because what we're trying to do is draw architects and engineers into conversations about the content that we create or in which we engage. So you can also join existing conversations in which your target clients are engaged. Something that I've also done is join these groups. We'll get into this further, but join groups that revolve around my niche clients and join those conversations. So I'm not having to spend my energy to come up with the content. I'm engaging with the content that they're already posting. And I might even share it and repurpose it and ask a question or something like that to engage others in conversations. So join and interact with interest groups in which your target clients are engaged. That doesn't have to necessarily be your niche. For example, if you want business owners, you could interact with Chamber of Commerce post, Chamber of Commerce content. There are business owners there. So that's the idea behind engaging with that content. Also, follow and engage with thought leaders that are producing the content that are interesting to your target clients. So I think, for example, in the coaching industry, there are some very high level coaches that do great things. And so I might even engage with those, just if nothing else, to elevate my profile within the community. So you can do the same thing, even if it's a peer or just within your industry. Another thing you could do is join Facebook or LinkedIn groups. The LinkedIn groups aren't near as popular as they once were, but I would encourage you to use Facebook for its groups, use LinkedIn for its hashtags, or Instagram for its hashtags. So you could do it that way. Twitter, maybe, but I don't know that you'll get the conversations that you're looking for. So let's just take a look at Facebook real quick. So ideally, you'd want to join groups that have between 5,000 and 30,000. Anything over 30,000 starts to feel like the Old West, in that there's just random people posting random things in those groups. So there's one I know of for small business owners, and someone is very consistent about post about wild animals. Has nothing to do with small business owners, but they post almost every hour about wild animal videos, and it's ridiculous. And that one has well over 30,000 in it, but I see why it's important for us to create that focus in the groups that we're working on with. So you can see Simon Sinek's group here, Inspired, Safe, and Fulfilled. That group was actually put together by his company, and it is for people to help focus on their why, and how they're doing what they're doing to fulfill their why. So that group has 66,000 members. Well, what that feels like when you make posts in there is it's just a drop in the ocean, and so you can be a part of that group. You can actually work the members list. You could try to build relationships and network through the members, trying to connect and message with them. I'll show you how to do that later, but that is a very large group. Let's contrast that to the Texas Small Business Listings group. Now, that was done by a company. right? And it might just be one or two people that are in that company that started that group, but they've got 22,500 members. Well, that's good, right? But they are in control of the content. You can engage with that content. I encourage you to engage with content in those types of groups, right? Because we're trying to draw people into conversations, build those relationships, and eventually turn that into connections, chat, conversion. So another thing that we've done within the 3 million% program is our peer advisory groups have started their own Facebook groups. This Greenvillites group that you see here is an example of that. So that actually has grown within less than a year to 1,100 members. And they did it not so much as a business, uh, it was really more to expose businesses to help them grow. It wasn't so much an educational type group. They're just trying to call out local events that they could all be attending or congratulate people or things like that. So they're just trying to build community in that group, in that Greenville, Texas community, which has worked out beautifully for them. That idea actually came from a growth group meeting, a peer advisory group meeting, and it has grown to 1,100 members. So you can do the same in your community. Get together with those in your growth group. Now, in our, I'm going to say in our core group, we're all in Rockwall. A lot of us are in Rockwall, Texas. Well, what happened there, someone had already started a Facebook group that revolved around the community and was doing something similar. Well, what they do is engage in that group. They don't have to administer to the group. They don't have to manage any part of it. All they want to do is interact with others within that community and get them into connection and chat messaging conversations, and then they can convert them later. So there, we actually have built strategies around that. So we can get into those in another video, but engage with the content and where you engage with the content in the community in which you wish to grow. So that leads us to the commenting part, and I will get into that in the next video.